What is the biggest lesson marriage taught you?
Yeah, my name is Caleb Sunguti. I've been married for the last 36 years.
36.
Yes,
Nice.
and I have a lot of experience uh, with my wife, and also I've gathered experience from my friends, my brothers, my relatives, even my children. I've learned a lot from marriage, and one of the key things that stands out is first, creating a peaceful environment for both the spouses at home, so that when you are at home, it is the best place that you like to go to, especially from work, a busy schedule, or from the farm. It is the best place that you like to meet a friend who is your spouse. So that, to me, stands out. Having peaceful coexistence between the couples, between the spouses. Secondly, it is respect. Respect. Having respect for one another, and for us Africans, the extended family. And I'm talking about both sides. Knowing that you have got brothers-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and there are even others that are many more than the in-laws that are mentioned. So then again, within the family, having respect within the family. The other thing that I know marriage, we may not talk about it so loudly because we are Africans, but it's also intimacy. People must know that intimacy is critical because it unites the two people, and it could be the key thing even during the courtship and relationships. So for me, I believe that it is important that spouses have time for each other. And I've seen one of the mistakes many men do make is to believe that they have provided houses, big vehicles, food in the house, but they have not provided themselves in the house. So the ladies especially, or even the men, feel they have been left out on this particular aspect of marriage. And then forgiveness. Having a constant feeling that you will forgive, because living with somebody you are not born with, you met them after 20 years of your life, and now they are going to be with you for the next 40, 50 years. You have to know that at one time they'll make a mistake. And one of the things I've noticed, sometimes it is not even intentional. It could be influenced from their background. They take it like, for instance, they will be very close, in a family that is very closely knit. A lady has come from there and always goes back to her people. And the man doesn't have that kind of attachment to his family. So when the lady or even the man is so close to the mother, for example, you'll find it is a mistake. You are going to ask your mother about a dress that you have seen to buy for your wife, and finally you don't buy because your mother told you not to buy. And when you make these mistakes, or you do not give attention to your wife because you are giving it to you need to break and ask for forgiveness. In African society, I must add that dowry payment is very critical. There are relationships that are breaking because a man, because in Africa, it is the man who pays dowry. A man has ignored that aspect of marriage. And the lady is going home, finding the sisters have been paid for dowry. the cousins have been paid for dowry. When they sit in a social gathering and they are discussing each other and they say, oh, Mary, what happened to your husband? He has not brought out anything, even a cat, even a dog. They have not brought in this home. It makes this lady to suffer from self-esteem. She ends up even being very gloomy, quarreling with her cousin sisters because she thinks she's being abused. And sometimes they walk out from the gathering and they say, I'll never come back because you are demeaning me. And it is worse if she's the firstborn, and you have not paid her dowry. It is very demeaning in the society. So the respect that is accorded to her usually will be attached to, was dowry paid? And that also goes to the husband. The husband will be respected.
Ngoja kiasi.
Endelea.
Yes.
Proceed.
The husband will be respected in family functions depending on whether they are paid dowry in that home. So there are some homes where the people won't talk so much about that dowry, but there are some others where they will talk about. And sometimes you will be pushed, through peer pressure, as I've said. Lastly, I must say that I've learned that as a couple, you must plan for your children. You have to plan for your children. Plan early. My experience is that get your children early when you are still struggling. Get your children, get them through school. For example, myself, I have 5 children and they have all finished university, the youngest being 26 years. So I'm left with the mother and we enjoy ourselves. We are just two in the house with a workman or a lady who works for us. And so we are able to travel. We even are planning in the new year to travel. We go somewhere. And we will not now be minding about where the children are. Although parenting continues, even when they are older, because we got our kids within 10 years, just 25 and 35 years. So that has helped us to plan our kids to go through school. We have also planning for a home. Where will these kids, where are these kids going to stay? Where will your wife stay? So getting planning to make sure that the kids and their wife and your family have a home where you can retire to when you are retiring. Like me, I prepared myself to have a home where my kids and grandchildren can come when they are on holiday, so that they can relax.
What small habits can make a marriage last?
One is being playful. Playful. Yani muna joke, you crack jokes with one another, because your wife is your lover and also your partner and your friend. So for me ni mchezo. At least muna joke. Like I joke with my wife, there are things she doesn't like me repeating, but I like them because they have built our relationship and our family. So that one is to me very important. Being helpful in the house. When you are in the house, maybe there is cleaning, there is wiping something, there is in the kitchen, maybe they are cooking and you are standing there, or you are passing, let's say you are out there and you come across fruits, vegetables or meat or fish or whatever. Yeah, you come with them.
Yes.
Yeah, so you might have sent money home, like you have left 30,000 for shopping. But when you meet something that makes you happy, a nice fruit, or it can even be a dress, or it can be a gift, it can be a flower, or something that is out of the old routine. Yeah. So it looks like every day has got some surprises. Yeah, it excites a marriage rather than just having a very like a routine, a nominal relationship. There are no changes. Everything is the same. Yeah. So that is one, arranging the house. Yeah, arranging the house. Like even today, that's what I was doing. Just arranging the house, making sure I remove the clutter. If they are there are things that are dirty. I identify some could be mine. I make sure they are prepared for tomorrow to be washed. Fixing broken things or lights, electricity. There are no bulbs. You can't just sit there as a man with your remote instead of helping, making sure the lights are back or the bulb is replaced. Those kinds of things. The washroom is, but there is also another thing, making sure you keep your bathroom clean. When you go to the washroom, just making sure that you tighten up before you leave the bathroom, you flush the water. Like sometimes when I'm in the bathroom, I find the water is too much, on the floor. I make sure I wipe before I leave, because there's somebody else who is going to come to that bathroom, because my toilet and my bathroom is same. So I must make sure that if you are coming in, you find that it is clean for use. Making sure that you brush your teeth, your personal hygiene when you are going to sleep, also in the morning when you are dressing and going to work. You just make sure that those small things, you do them, so that there is a partner that may not be comfortable with you with a bad smell. And the worst is if you smoke or you drink, yeah, and you are going to bed, you find that it kills even that motivation of being close to one another, because you are smelling bad in bed. And one of the things, because my background is in project management and M&E, I always ask, is it possible to ask your spouse, how well am I doing? Yeah, how well am I doing? You could be imagining that you are very good, or you are achieving so much. Let your spouse, who is like your mirror, tell you how well you are doing so far. Yeah, in terms of your projects, in terms of being the father to the children, in terms of being a friend, in terms of helping out. You will be surprised. Some of the things that annoy people, you leave your shoes at the door, or you walk in with dirty shoes in the house. You find that is what annoys your spouse. So because of the backgrounds of and personal organization, you'll find people went through different schools and homes. So depending on where you came from, it sometimes annoys the person who thinks you should be doing otherwise.
What marriage advice do you have for young men?
Young men need to study the lady very well. And one, they must be decided. They must have decided that they want to get married. I think I'm getting, I don't know whether you call them vibes or you get information or you see that there are young people who are getting into marriage, especially the men, who are the foundation of the marriage. It is not the woman to make sure marriage works. In my opinion, marriage works because the man decides to be the man. And they need to have what I would refer to loosely as family values. You must be ready to say, I want to stay with so and so. I want to create a family. I want to have children. You have to have a line of sight of how many children you want and discuss it with your spouse. Even when you do not have resources at the moment. But when you get money, what is it that you are going to do? One of the things that I see, young men are getting wives but not knowing what they will do even when they get jobs. Sometimes they don't have jobs, they're jobless. But when they get a job, they are into drinking and clapping, and going for their parties. So a young man must know that once you get married, you now you share your life with somebody else. It means that you will also cut off some friends and some activities like drinking, being out unnecessarily with the friends. So that means that you become you get removed from the crowd, and you stay closer to your spouse, with your wife. So for me, I believe that young men need to know that one, they need to be providers. And being a provider, I've noticed sometimes even the lady may have more money than the boy, but it is the boy we should know that this is the areas we are going to be spending our money. I think I don't know, people talk about today's men and the other men, the men of 1970s, but I can say that even the young men of today will also be older and will be referred to, in a good way as older people who behaved well. So for me, that is one. The other thing is the background. You need to know that once you get married, it is like the definition of marriage. You submit yourself to the other party. You become now it's like you are selling part of you is being surrendered so that you can now join the other person. So you'll find you have a very big family, but when it comes to your resource application, resource use, you will have to now commit it to this family unit. Yes, we have extended families, we have younger children, maybe we are the ones who got educated in the family, like myself, and then finally you need to support them. Support, but know that you are supporting is not the main purpose of your expenditure, but you have to put your resources to your family. I think the other thing is to put God first in marriage, because even before getting married, I was telling my children that it is important to pray to get a good spouse, because the chances that you'll run into wrong hands are also very high. Yeah, you get into marriage, you didn't pray for it, it is not working, you don't go to church, you don't pray for one another, you don't know what to do. So me, I believe again that you need to know that it is God who gives, because if you get, we can have a very good young man, but who can be messed up by the wife. The boy or the young man can be messed completely until the boy has got no idea where to start, where to go. The issue of cheating in relationships, especially when young people who are now exposed to social media, online dating, and so many other things on the online. You have to know that real life does not exist online. Now real life exists in the house where you are staying. So for me, I believe that you have to be very careful, because we are getting situations where somebody who is in 20s says wants to marry a second wife, and you have not even finished with the first one. Yeah, you have not even paid dowry, you have not done a wedding, you have not brought up the kids, you have 4-year-old kids, you want to marry again. Now, life is expensive. My prayer is that young people should take time to make a decision to get married, and when they do, they need to be close to one another, and they need to agree that will have, the lady will have to leave her friends where they have been clapping and doing all manner of things and stick to. And then communication. You know, men generally don't talk much. I don't know whether it is, I am not sure whether it's a scientific thing, but there are people who just don't talk, especially men. And they assume, especially people who are highly educated in the sciences. Me, I believe the sciences, physics, engineers, doctors, they rarely talk out their heart. They assume you know, and they wonder why you don't know. So they assume instead of communicating. And communication is good when you cut off from the family. As a young person, you take your spouse, you retreat. You can go stay in a hotel outside your city. Just have time with one another, you and without phones. Yeah. And now I talk about the phone. This phone has brought a lot of problems. The phone, because people are talking to your wife. There are those who are in a school of thought that you should share the passwords and share the phone. There are others who believe that it's better you keep your phone as a private item. Whichever way you look at it, that does not give you permission to do your very bad things that will kill or will make the relationship to be fatally affected. Because generally speaking, there will be very many girls who still want a moneyed young man. Any man who is able to afford the best drinks, the best attire, fashion, isn't it? Dressing, yeah, and lifestyle will attract many young women who also want to know why your wife is happy. Because if your wife is happy and you keep telling people, they also want to share the same. Yeah. So for me, what I know is for young men, personally, again, me, I do not follow my wife. Where she goes, what she does. I don't follow her bank account. I don't follow. Okay, me, I grew up that way, that I let my wife perform. And fortunately, I'm fortunate because she doesn't waste money. But I do not believe in following her up and wanting to know what she's doing, she's spending on, and so on. So I believe that on the phone, I expect my spouse to be responsible with her phone. And let me be clear here, that we are all beautiful and handsome to someone or to some people, and there could be more than 100. And when you just get married as a young man is when you get very good proposals. You actually get now better than the one you have.
I wish I met you before I met my wife.
Yeah, and you can even be abusive to the man. Now you are talking about your husband who actually you have wedded. But now hii ng'ombe ifanyi hii ng'ombe hakuna kitu inakuja nayo kwa nyumba, because you get married and then you now get a person with money, more money than you can see. Somebody who can make your hair, somebody who will make your wife's nails, somebody who can provide the shopping, nice dresses, very expensive watches, and jewelry. So you find a person who started off from a low level has now been thrown into a lady who is seeing nothing, what you are not able to do. That's why I talked about prayer in the first place, because your person needs some protection. And lastly on that, the gentleman, the young man must be very sensitive to what your woman does not talk about. Listen more to what she doesn't say, what she does not say, because she may say it in body language, she may say it by keeping quiet, she might speak just by keeping off. or just being called, it's good for you to find out. That's one of the things my wife taught me, and I wish many women will use it on their husbands, is that you are always the head of this family. Whether we have disagreed, I'm annoyed or not, you are still the head of my family. If you call me or ask me to come to discuss, I'll come. If you keep quiet, I will also keep quiet. Yes. So that has helped me, because if she is quiet, she's not talking, then I will now understand that I need to talk to her, because she's indicating there is something. So that is why to say, listen to what you are not hearing, and know the body language of your spouse. Even in the house, even in bed, you will know certain behaviors, and you will know that when this is happening, then it means she's happy or she's not happy.